Hey Capricorn, Amanda here. Welcome to Unseen Hands Healing. This is going to be a reading for the month of September. I'm going to talk a little bit about what came through in your meditation as I'm shuffling the cards, laying them out. So I immediately had this image of you swimming. It seemed like ocean or maybe, yeah, some sort of like outlet to the ocean. And you were trying, it was like you were trying to swim to another shore. Sorry, I'm just also listening to where card placements need to go as I'm talking to you. You were trying to swim to another shore, and it was like when you decided to swim for it, you thought the shore was much closer and that it would be much easier than it actually is. But swimming for it, turns out, is exhausting, because I was feeling as you were swimming that you were like worried you weren't going to make it. You were really kind of flailing in the water, and you'd be swimming, but somehow not really making much progress. As I'm saying that, the Nine of Wands just dropped out, which I'll get to, but that really makes sense for that, for those of you that know that card. You're somehow not really getting as far as you should be for how hard you're working to swim. Something about that. And then I realized there was actually a rope underneath the surface of the water that I could grab onto and sort of like rest once in a while. But then as soon as I would stop and rest and like hang on the rope, which was interesting, this rope tethering between the two lands that I was trying to swim to, almost like I was trying to swim out to an island, a small island. And I can see this island in the distance. It actually feels really, really close, but for some reason it's just like, I'm not making any progress. I can't get here. This swim shouldn't have been more than a mile. Why is this so hard? And you're about halfway through it in this vision. So I stopped to like hang on the rope and catch my breath and rest. And then as soon as I do that, I get scared about the creatures that may be beneath the surface. And then I suddenly get very scared and feel like I need to keep moving. So there's all this like, you know, for me, waters are always, Six of Cups, waters, this, it's emotions, you know, especially for you, Cap, because water and tidal waves and all of these images of water have been coming out for you almost every reading for the last few months. Seven of Cups. And so here you are actually in the water, swimming. It's like the tidal wave has actually landed and now you're just trying to swim for it. But there is this sense that you're alone. Sorry, I'm being drawn to do one more card for Capricorn, please. Okay. A bucket came out. All right. We're taking that one. But the packet came out, so we will look at it briefly. All right. So that's the deal here, and it really does feel like you're swimming in these emotional waters, and it's just harder than you think. It's hard, you know, to be in your emotions like that, to be literally learning how to swim in it. I can see you're just trying to get to dry land, and it's actually taking longer, and it's much harder and more exhausting than you expected it to be, and you're afraid of what might come up. You know, because every time I stopped to rest on the rope, which I was like thankful is here for me, this lifeline, suddenly now that I'm still, I have this moment of stillness. It's like every time you get a moment of stillness, the depths, like the fear starts to creep up about what might surface. Like some sort of big beast that might surface, like a shark or a whale or something like that. So let's get into this for September. I'm actually being drawn to read the little packet first. So let's take a look at what flew out. It came out with the Eight of Cups. We've got Two of Wands, making a choice. We've got the Earth card in reverse, which is sort of speaking to me about that shore that you're trying to swim to. There's something about like you chose to swim towards it, and now it's like it feels like you'll never reach it. But my friend, I believe you will. There's abundance. There's abundance here for you in this process of allowing yourself to be in your emotions. Five of Cups. Five of Cups is difficult emotions, you know, grief, sadness, pain, loss, and loss. Sorry, I'm just like trying to filter through what I'm getting here. It's like you have to go through all of this. There is, I'm just getting really strongly, you know, you all have been, the last reading you got the Dark Night of the Soul card. So, you know, I know you've been going through it. And here we have, the message is there is abundance in this, I almost want to say grief, but I realize that might not be true for everyone, but there, whatever this emotional, the emotional depths that you are swimming through, there is abundance to be had here because you have a wealth of emotions, Cap. And it's sort of like you're just now swimming in them. Like they're just now kind of that tidal wave that we've been working with over the last few months. That image has just sort of crashed, and now you're actually in the flood, learning how to swim, trying to get to that little patch of dry land that you see. It's very Noah's Ark, you know. Trying to get to that earth. But I'm telling you, there is, and you will get to it, but there's abundance to be had here in the waters. I'm actually seeing this as coral, which is interesting because then it would go like this. The card would go like this. If it's coral, the coral, not necessarily, coral can grow all sorts of ways, but here you are. I guess the point of why I'm being drawn to that is that, see the person here. Let me just show you the card upright. This person in mourning clothes for these cups that have spilled, and there's one upright behind them. And we're looking at this like, either it's like a lung or a blood vessel or a nerve. There's some sort of central nervous system, central channel being present here that I'm seeing as coral. Because I believe you are under the water. You know, it's like that moment of sort of, I'm too tired to keep swimming, and so I sink a bit. And now that you're under those depths, and listen, I know it's scary because look, it's like being in the dark of the ocean where you can't see and it's all black. Honestly, I can't think of anything scarier. But here you are, and there's life down here. Okay, that's interesting. There's life down here. Because look, all of a sudden this flash of coral. Yes, your spilled cups are down here, but there's life down here. And then look, there's also this hand reaching in to help. See the hand? It's like reaching in. You know, when you're at the depths of the ocean, you don't know which way is up if you can't see a little bit of light. Then there's this hand that reaches in. You're afraid of the creatures that might be in the depths, but I'm telling you, whatever creatures you discover down there may actually be a helping hand. You know? Sort of like realizing that your inner shark or your inner beast is actually here with a helping hand for you, trying to show you something important. There's abundance to be had. There is life blooming and flowing down here in the depths where you think no life could survive. And then there's something with the Three of Wands coming through. Oh, this is interesting. So this is speaking to the vision that I'm seeing, the meditation visualization that I'm seeing. In this card, see the person right here hanging out in the midst of the wands. They're on one shore, and I'm actually seeing the sunrise over here as like the other shore. See that? You're standing on one shore and there's a tiny island over here that you're feeling like, I gotta swim for it. I gotta swim to it. And this is sort of showing me the decision that you made in this metaphor of, you know what? My survival somehow depends, my future, because this is a card about like future expectations, my survival somehow depends on me getting to that other shore. And damn it, there's no other way to get there but to swim for it. And that is a terrifying decision, but it feels like the decision, the choice that I have to make. That's what I'm getting. Super specific imagery coming through these cards. And you know what? There's real promise here with the Three of Wands. There's real promise on that horizon. It's like the dawn of a new day. And I do think that it will be this dawn of a new day once you get there, but you've got to keep swimming through these emotional waters first. And it's interesting that all of that came out around the Eight of Cups, which is another encompassing card of this metaphor that we're working with today, which is leaving one shore and going to another. This person decides to leave these cups on the shore and go elsewhere. Oh, now I'm getting something. This is you actually arriving. This is both. This is both you leaving the one shore in favor of the other, but it's also you leaving, once you get there after that frickin' swim for your life, the sea coughs you up onto this land. You actually made it. And all of the stuff, Six of Cups, here we go. All of the, Six of Cups is a card that talks about the past. It's hearkening to past self, maybe even past lives for some of you, past energies. And it's also a card of a return. So I'm getting for you, there's a duality in this card that's coming through. You're leaving these cups. Okay, work with me. Sorry, I'm trying to get it out. You get to this other shore, and in the process of that swim, where you are right now, halfway through, you are going down to those depths with the Five of Cups. You're going down to those depths to discover the life that's there. You're trying to discover what's at your depths, because that's very much a Six of Cups process for me, is discovering what's at your root, discovering like what of your past lurks in that underneath the surface for you emotionally. And then, so you discover that. It's almost like a video game. You collect all of these cups as you're on this swim. And perhaps that's why the swim is getting harder and harder, because it's almost like you're getting heavier and heavier the more you go down. Oh, this is it. Holy crap. Tarot's amazing. Okay. The more you know, it's almost like you're being asked, and this is why you have the rope to keep coming back to. Every time you stop swimming and you feel like you can't get any further, it's because that water won't let you get any further until you dive down to the depths where you're scared to go and find the cups that are at the bottom, the cups of your past, your emotional past. Grab them, pick them up one by one, and bring them up to the rope. And you can tie them to the rope once you get up there. There's like these little, I'm seeing now like almost like a carabiner, like these little hooks that you can actually like hook those cups to as you go. But it's like when you feel like you can't swim any further in these waters, it's because you need to go down. You need to go deeper. Collect the cups along the way, and then it's like by the time you get to that shore, you're so heavy with 8 cups that you picked up. And it's like you get to this shore and you got all the cups, the emotional cups of your past that you've collected all along the way. And once you get to the shore, you can actually lay them out and look at them for what they are. Once you're on solid ground, you know? I hope you're with me on this metaphor. This is going a place. And this could mean lots of things in your life. So I hope that you are doing that work on your end to interpret this. Or like really however that your heart is kind of beating as I'm talking about this, like this somehow applies to me. Yeah, like go with your instincts on that. So you get to the other shore in the story. You get to the other shore and all the cups are out around you. Sorry, my window's open because it's beautiful weather here. But people's cars are busted here in South Philly and we have to hear it. Okay. So you're sitting on the shore and you can actually lay all the cups out in front of you and really look at these cups of your past. Really see them for what they are when they're not just like sitting in the murky depths of you. You see them for what they are in the light of day, right? The dawn of that. You know, because there's illumination to be had over here on this other shore. That's why you're swimming for it. And now you're over here with these cups. Oh my God, we're already at 20 minutes. And you decide to leave them. You decide to leave the past here and go on this hermit's journey, that solo journey to really like find yourself and rather like walk forward from your inner light, really listening to yourself every step of the way and not taking a step forward unless you feel that inside. Okay. So that's the journey I see you going on this new land. You're going to go up this mountain now. You're on a new journey, Cap. You're on a new journey. We have not even gotten into the rest of these cards. Let's see how quickly we can move through this, okay? You are on a new journey because here we have the Fool. And look, it's the same damn thing. You deciding to swim for the other shore. You're up on this cliff and you decide to climb down and swim, or maybe just jump, actually dive into the water from here, because look, that's what the Fool's about to do. Dive into the water from there. So it's like, this is telling you, you know, maybe you're on this journey already, some of you, because I did see that some of you are already halfway through the swim, but perhaps you have not yet taken that leap, Cap. Perhaps this is a journey that you are going to be taking here or starting in the month of September, but there is this new journey. There's this new direction. Knight of Wands, moving, escaping something, escaping a situation. What are you escaping? You're escaping some sort of relationship. This is, this feels very emotional in nature to me. So this could be talking about relationships, and relationships, there's lots of different kinds of relationships, romantic, family, you know, there's whatever, you know what I'm saying? There's energy of, you know, here we have the Three of Cups. It's a group dynamic in relationships. There's some sort of group dynamic, family dynamic, multiple relationships dynamic, whatever this is for you. Maybe it's a friendship, maybe it's community, whatever it is, okay? You are leaving this like quickly. With the Knight of Wands, it actually feels kind of like a bat out of hell, this particular card. It's like you're out of the fog that this relationship or these relationships sort of keeps you in. This group dynamic keeps you in some sort of fog, and it's like you set it on fire and you're running for it, or it imploded, hence the fire. And so you're out of there like a bat out of hell. It's like, I gotta go. I gotta get out of here. I gotta swim for it. I think that's why the swim for it felt like real survival to me. I gotta swim for it. And interesting that I say swim for it, because here's this Page of Cups for you. This is you, Capricorn, because you know I love you so much. Sea goat. You know, for those of you who have not been following along with my shit, here's the sea goat. That's you. You are a dual being in that way. And so here you are, really at this time in your life, understanding your sea legs. You're getting your sea legs, and not so much sailing on the surface of the sea. This is actually you swimming down into the caves. See how this mer person is like in a cave? This is you swimming down into the depths of the cave, and these tulips now I'm seeing as the cups. I'm seeing as the treasures of your past that you're picking up, and then you're swimming back up to the surface. And that whole process is really, really painful. But there's something about this relationship dynamic of the Three of Cups, this relationship or community or whatever, that has past energy for me. It feels like this. It feels like the Six of Cups. It feels like this is past energy. Whatever this relationship is, it's not where you're going. You are leaving this dynamic for whoever I'm talking to that's resonating with this. You're leaving something about this dynamic or the dynamic itself behind. Okay? And because there's something about this that's linked to your past, and this is here for you so that you go on this entire journey, this entire Five of Cups, kind of painful journey of dredging up all this emotional stuff from your past. That's what this relationship is doing for you at this moment, or this group dynamic, so that when you get to the other shore, and by the way, here the Seven of Cups is here just talking more and more about all of I'm seeing them as all of these cups. See what I'm getting at here? And what's interesting about this is they seem to be, for you today, rising up from the depths. See how the depths are dark and they're rising up to something a little bit lighter over here? So this is you collecting all these cups. And look, they've all got something different in them. One of them has that coral. One of them has there's snake, there's lizard, there's fish, there's flowers, there's house, there's bones, there's jewels. All of your cups that you're collecting. Oh God, there's cups everywhere. Capricorn. Center of your reading, 9 of Cups. Look at all the cups. I'm getting it. Okay. Oh, can we get this? I wish I had 17 hands. Okay. This is what I hope you're with me. This is what you're leaving behind. This card has come up for you so much. 9 of Wands. This person, arm in a sling, beat up, kind of like emotionally, physically exhausted, mentally just beat up, sick of this. At the end of the rope, the wounded warrior. And notice how this Nine of Wands person is behind all of these gates. They got their fortress, they got their tower, they got their gates, they got all this stuff. Earth, 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 right? Capricorn, you know about it. This is all the shit that you've built around you to keep you in this place. And then, but it's like, nope. Your survival, you can't, listen, you can't stay in Nine of Wands energy for very long because it's going to, Nine of Wands is being like at the end of your rope. Nine of Wands is being like, I can't do this anymore without like actually suffering something physical. Okay, so your soul, Wands, is calling you to swim to that other shore, to leave this fortress and all your gates and all your stuff that keeps you behind here because you think it keeps you safely behind here, but not so safe if you're sitting here with your arm in a sling. Know what I mean? So it's like, you gotta go. You're being called to jump off this shore and swim for it to the other shore. This is the whole story as it's playing out, all right? And along the way, little recap here, just so you're with me, you're picking up the cups of your past that contain all of this emotional information for you so that you can really understand why things have happened the way they have and how that has made you who you are, how that informs who you are today. So that when you get, and it has something to do with you, in order to get out of this thing that you've built for yourself, it requires you leaving some sort of relationship dynamic. And once you do, once you get out of this and you go through and you collect the cups of your past and you understand why things have happened the way they happen and where they've brought you, you can then, you know, once you leave those, you get to the other shore, you see the cups for what they are and you leave them there to go on this solo journey up the mountain here, Capricorn. Oh my God, Cap. This is you using your sea legs and then using your goat legs, climbing up the mountain. Cool. Loving this. And then it's like where you're going, and it's a fight to get there. It's a fight with yourself, really, because this solo journey, this solo swim across the waters to this other shore, it's a fight. See the Seven of Wands, this is conflict, you having to fight all these forces of your past. All of this conflict, emotional conflict of your past. Look, it's blue. This is literally you in the water. This is what this feels like. This is why in that visualization when I was swimming, it felt like, why is this such a fight? Because it is such a fight. It is absolutely such a fight, Cap. But this is all about you leaving your past in the past once and for all. And you can't do it by forgetting about it and moving on. You do it by actually going down to those depths and bringing it up to a place where you can clearly see it. And then once you do, look, you can use these cups to actually bring yourself to a place of emotional fulfillment and fulfillment of your desires here in the now, on this other shore, wherever you end up. You can use the cups of your past and fill them with fruits, the fruits that they have given you to actually make your dreams and desires and hopes and wishes come true in the now for emotional fulfillment on this new shore. It's like the vessels of your past are now just vessels. That's what they are. They're just vessels that are there to help you bear fruit in the present. See you here, flushed with pink, and this card is like abundant emotional fulfillment and happiness and even indulgence. And look at that pearl. The pearl from the oyster at the bottom of the sea. You know, I could go on and on and on with this metaphor, but really, it's like, this is like you with the pearl of wisdom that you have gained through all of this, and now you are in a completely different emotional place. Completely different. Gorgeous, Capricorn. Truly, truly, truly gorgeous. Wow. Oh, I'm so honored to have shared on this journey with you, because it's just truly, really special. Difficult, really special. Let's get you a card from the liminal space here. Finish off this reading. If you are into this, if you really like this, please do click the like button, click subscribe to my channel. I appreciate it. It helps me so much, and helps the work I'm doing here get out to other folks. So if you're liking the work I'm doing, do that for me. Help me out. You can also work with me more closely on Patreon or through a personal reading at my website. Those links are down below. Okay, so let's get you a liminal space card. Oh, you cannot write this, Capricorn. Yep, memory lane. Memory lane. Notice how memory lane looks like a freaking back alley with trash and dumpsters? Because you know what? I can feel that this process of dredging up your not so pretty past, not so emotionally enjoyable past, this is kind of like dumpster shit, you know? And this relationship that you're currently in, this relationship dynamic is kind of triggering that. And you leaving that relationship dynamic, or the way it's currently playing out, the current iteration of it anyway. All right, so it's kind of like the memory lane it's more like memory creepy back alley. But this is your process. This is what you are being asked to do at this time. And the fruits, remember the Nine of Cups, the fruits of this labor will be abundant. Empress as well in this packet. The fruits of this labor will be abundant. The riches are here for you, and they're actually here for you now in this process, because the cups that you're bringing up now that are painful to behold, painful to drudge with you on this swim, are then going to be the cups that hold your abundance later. That's it. I think that is where I will stop. So, Capricorn, thank you for joining me for the September video. I'll check back in throughout the month here, and if you do want to connect with me in deeper ways, click the links below. Thanks for watching, Cap. Take care.